interior and exterior detail. But first, we're gonna go ahead and get our headliner cleaning, so we can show you what we're gonna do and how we're gonna get it done. So let's go ahead and show you what the headliner looks like before we get started. So as you can see, the headliner is pretty bad. So to do this headliner, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a all-purpose cleaner and degreaser, and we just gonna wipe it with a rag. That's the most simplest way to clean a headliner. And if you want to watch me go ahead and go through the process, I will definitely show you. Please spare me as I get my equipment ready so I can give you a clear view of how to clean the headliner and what tools you may or may not need. So um, let's get started. So I have a all-purpose degreaser here. I have some multi-surface foam cleaning, and I have my upholstery carpet cleaner. So I have all these different things, and I have a brush here, just in case necessary. But you want to be very delicate with your brush because you don't want to mess up the adhesives on the actual headliner. So to start, I'm gonna go ahead and just spray this along just to get it soft and wet enough. Um, it's not horribly bad, so I just want to spray it first to get the headliner going, uh, and get the surface wet and start getting some of these chemicals to start helping. Um, this is primary from water and not dirt, so it should be pretty easy to come off, but I just want to make sure that I add everything necessary to get off any other resistant stains that was there beforehand. So to start, I'm just spraying my foamer to help with getting this stuff off the interior. So this is just the start of the headliner restoration, which is what I did, just sprayed it so far. So now that I sprayed it, I just want to all right. So all right. So the headliner has been sprayed, and now it's time to just see how easy it comes off, or if it's gonna give us a hard time. So the best way to clean the headliner is to go area by area. That way you get everything wet and it dries evenly. On the vehicle. So if it doesn't dry evenly, it's just gonna leave another stain, and it's gonna be at the other wherever you stop cleaning at. So you want to make sure you get the whole surface clean and wet. That way it can dry even. And you want to leave the doors open as you do your headliner, because that will help with drying the vehicle as well. So I'm using a couple different products. Uh, they all work for the vehicle, but I just want to make sure that I do a good enough job to make sure it comes completely clean. So so far I've cleaned my the sun blocker. It looks great. So I'm liking the way that turned out. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the headliner clean, especially the areas where it shows the stain on the headliner. So you want to just make sure you get it completely wet and come around the whole vehicle, the whole headliner. Otherwise, you're just going to get stains where you left off. So you can see what areas are wet and which areas are dry. So you're going to have to do the whole car headliner to make sure that it doesn't stain up in the area that you just did. So I just wanted to test that out. But, all right, so that worked for that part. So now I just want to get the sides, and it should be quite simple. Um, the problem that you have, what most people don't know what to do is if they try to clean it, but they don't know how to balance out the the dirt or whatever is on the headliner, because you have to be careful to make sure that you balance it out so that you just don't create more of a water line on the headliner. So the benefit now is once you get the main areas, you can kind of just do a light wipe and a light spray because you got majority of it off. So now you just want to balance it out, and it should dry pretty simple from there. So that's that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and come around on the other side. It's starting to rain. I told her I'll make sure that I get the most important parts, and then if she wants me to stay to do the rest of it, I will. But let's go ahead and try to get the rest of this headliner clean on this side. And then the back parts of the headliner we will get as well, but we just want to make sure that we get the important part before the rain starts. All right. All right. So everything looks good on both sides here so far. Um, I do see a light area forming here, which just shows that I need to even it out a little bit more so that it can dry straight. But you have to wet the whole thing in order for it to dry all the way completely. So with this, I'm just trying to use all my chemicals to the best ability. It all does the same. I just, like I said, I just want to use all my chemicals. You obviously can't use this for a interior detail because it's not enough. So this is perfect for me to use my upholstery cleaner on the headliner to go ahead and get it done. But as you can see, man, everything is coming out pretty nicely. There's a few areas that are drying up as well. Um, you want to be sure not to oversaturate too much, and also not to scrub too much, because underneath this is adhesive, which is keeping the headliner stuck to the top of the vehicle. So you want to do it just enough to remove the stains and just enough to wet it, but try not to soak it in water as well. So you just making this thing go on long. If y'all have any questions about the headliner, definitely let me know. We got most of the area where this thing and the adhesive was, the water was initially. So now the main objective is to level it out and make sure that we don't add any more water lines to this vehicle. So most of them was right here in the front, but we got most of it out. So again, I shouldn't be spraying so much on this, but if I see areas where it's not coming out, I just want to try my best to get it out. All right, so as you can see, man, this thing is not showing those lines anymore. So now it's all just wet. So uh, I have a couple different cleaners and whatnot, but like I said, it's just wet right now. So once it dries perfectly, then you will see that there's nothing else on the headliners that needs to be cleaned, and they just need to dry properly. So I got this right here, multi-surface cleaner. I got an upholstery cleaner, and I got an all-purpose cleaner. All do the same thing, and yeah. Again, you can't spray too much adhesive up here, so you can't spray too much of the chemical because of the adhesive that's holding the headliner in place. So some of these things probably won't come out, but it definitely looks a lot better if you saw that stain there. And now Yeah, so going forward, everything is clean now. So going forward, we're gonna get the back and we're gonna try to level off the rest of the headliner. Basically not getting it too wet, but also, making sure that it's level. Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell the difference of which parts are wet and which parts are not, but we're just gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of this headliner to complete this detail. Yeah, if I have more of this right here, it can easily leave a light wetness on the headliner, and all I would have to do is wipe it. But I'm running low on this chemical, this spray, so I'm gonna have to use my all-purpose cleaner, which will make this a little bit more difficult, unfortunately. Yeah, so the goal is to just get all of it wet. Yeah, so that's what I like to see. So I just did that whole little area right there where I just spraying my cleaner, and we just gonna move on. And then once it's all dry, you're gonna see that some areas will still try to dry uneven, and then those areas you just touch up at the end. So I have to do back here, and again you see there's some dirt, but that wasn't part of um, the detail. It was just the water spots. But I'm gonna still go ahead and do this for the customer, even though I wasn't hired to do that part of the headliner. So luckily I can pull this down so I can do it from this angle so y'all can see, you know, how I get the rest of this done. So I'm gonna use the rest of this that I have, which will make this side easier. Um, I'll just do a light spray. Yeah, but the goal is not to spray as much because that's, oh, sorry about that. But yeah, most of that dirt that, yeah, super clean is good, but you wanna, again, you gotta make sure that you um spray lightly and dilute it because you don't want to mess up the adhesive underneath the headliner. But yeah, super clean is fine. Um, spray lightly. As you see, I barely sprayed any of my degreaser on this thing here, and it's still getting clean. And it's not really a degreaser; it's an all-purpose. Um, Spray lightly. Hopefully, most of the time it'll come off with a rag. But if not, depending on what type of material you have on the headliner, you can possibly use a brush. But most of this one right here is coming off pretty easy. Like you can see, I just got majority of that off. It's probably going to come back, but You want to get most of it off. As you can see, it's still some small little um, dirt areas. But as long as this thing dries evenly, you'll see a big difference in the headliner, and the customer will be very happy. All right, so because I ran out of my foaming, which is the best option for headliners in my opinion, like the all-purpose foam cleaners, because they don't pull out a lot of liquid. It's just a lot of foam, and the foam is enough to get it wet and not soak it or anything like that, and it won't mess up the headliner in the process. So if you wondering what's the best thing, is any type of foam cleaner with yeah, it's definitely something you want to look out for. But you know, it's simple if you just, be delicate with it. I would start with just using a foam upholstery cleaner, and then wiping it with a rag, and don't even spray a lot, and then make sure you do the whole upholstery headliner to prevent any staining, because you have to go all the way around. As you can see, I started in the front and I'm working my way around, because if you don't go all the way around, then it's definitely going to stain and mess it up. But and you can kind of tell the different colors that's not wet. And if you leave it like that, then yeah, it's gonna look like you messed it up. But if you just careful with it, like I said, I wouldn't recommend using this spray, but because I have experience, kind of I kind of know that I'm not gonna mess it up. All right. So I try not to spray too much, but I spray what I can. And then I got my rag. So, and then also I gotta be careful, because the left side over there, the passenger side of the vehicle, is drying, but I'm doing the driver's side, so I still gotta make sure that the middle part is drying correctly with the other part. So just make sure you be careful, make sure everything dry evenly to prevent any type of um mess ups. Um, I'm spraying in the angle like this because if I don't, I'm gonna have products flying all in my face, and it's definitely not good at taking these products like that. So, another tip when it comes to cleaning your headliner is you want to keep your rags as dry as possible as you drive, because like you're trying to dry it at the same time as you cleaning it, so that you don't leave any lines in the process. So yeah, so looking at this one, it's definitely working out. Everything is coming together. And it seems like it's gonna dry right as long as I just hit every area the right way. So this thing right here is just a little bit deeper, so gotta use a little bit more product. And I'm gonna probably use this brush just slightly, but not too much. So if I don't get it all, I'm not gonna push it because I don't want to mess it up. But it looks like it wants to come out. Another good thing about these hills, like once they're clean once, most of the time they usually don't get that dirty for another couple of years. So if I just keep going hard to make sure I get this thing out, I'm pretty sure the customer's not gonna get their headlights done for another couple of years, which would prevent any adhesive from making it fall off or anything. But I think I'm gonna stop here without um, yeah, I think that'll do it for this one little stain right here without causing too much damage. So so we already did this area, so I think we're pretty much done with the headliner. And my only thing is now is to make sure it dried up correctly. So I see one area on the front passenger seat that didn't dry correctly, and I'm gonna just give you all the examples so you all can see what I mean by not drying correctly. Or it could just be areas that I didn't get. So, um, for example, right here, you can see that I got everything else except this area. So I just got to go back in and wipe that really quick to make sure that it doesn't leave that, because that's something that will stay and the customer will notice that if I don't like just wipe it. Yeah, so now like I would just be like spot wiping to make sure that everything kind of like dries even. But the actual cleaning is done. So this is the after of the headliner cleaning. And so anything the customer notice when they come out, I'll just kind of like go over it and just allow it to dry. But if you see the thumbnail, you will see that it's it looks a lot better. So now that I got the headliner cleaning, let's go ahead and start our detail. So we're gonna do a inside and outside detail on this. Vacuum, wipe down, wash, tire shine, windows, and door jams. I haven't said that already. So we're gonna try to make this quick because it seems like it's gonna rain. So try to move a little bit quick on this vacuum so you can move on and get this done. All right, so 1 second while I get my vacuum and everything set up. If y'all have any questions, make sure y'all type it in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about that headliner cleaning. If there's anything that you all do different compared to what I just showed you all when it comes to headliner. And that's just a simple way to clean it. I know there's other methods, but for a simple headliner cleaner, I would recommend y'all take that roach, depending on what you're cleaning. And that wasn't for that particular headliner, that wasn't the easiest headliner you can get. So there's other headliners and vehicles that can make your job even easier than what I just showed you. So like the suede headliners are easier to clean. Um, so just keep that in mind when you all start trying to, you know, clean headliners. But I got my vacuum ready. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my generator and get started. All right, so let's get to it, my man. Alright, so the sun's coming out. That's good news. Alright, let's get to it, baby.